Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, Friday, December 29th at 5:30 p.m. in Arizona Stadium, Tucson, Arizona, between Utah State and New Mexico State. The Battle of the Aggies. That's right. There is a Battle of the Wildcats, followed by the Battle of the Aggies.
What?
Both New Mexico State and Utah State share the nickname of the Aggies.
Colleges share nicknames?
You think people would be more creative. There's only 130 FBS teams.
None of them are polar bears.
None of them are Wildcats. None of them. But that is true. None of them are polar bears. At all.
I mean.
But polar bears probably aren't going to exist in the upcoming years, sadly.
Are they endangered?
I'm laughing mostly to cope with the video that everybody saw of the polar bears starving.
Stop it.
All right, this is the
Aggies versus Aggies.
Sorry, Nova Home Loans
6-6 versus 6-6. This is a great bowl game, guys.
This is one of the best on December 29th. New Mexico State ends a 57-year bowl drought by being a part of the Arizona Bowl, and it's hard to know why.
They did it on a last-minute touchdown.
Right. It's kind of miserable. Their whole season was miserable. It's hard to know why with how far they were down in the Sun Belt. They were number 7 overall in the Sun Belt.
Hey, the Sun Belt was a good conference this year compared to the MAC.
Disagree. They had a 4-4 conference record, 6-6 overall. New Mexico State limps on in after almost letting up a late come-from-behind victory to South Alabama Jaguars in their final game of the season, which you alluded to there. Good for this group of guys, though. I mean, if you saw the end of that game, you would have seen how excited the entire team was to end that drought. You would have thought that they had just won a bowl game with how excited they were to be going to a bowl game.
I mean, it's kind of a cool thing. It's so long.
Now, technically, New Mexico State is undefeated in bowl games with 2 wins in 1960 and 1959 and 1 draw in 1935. Wow. Each of those was in the Sun Bowl, but quarterback wide receiver duo Tyler Rogers and Jaleel Scott of New Mexico State will hope to push them into 3-win territory. Don't look for much of a rushing attack, as New Mexico State was 125th in rushing on the season. Cool story, but not a great team. Think I'm being mean? Their only win of more than 10 points was against UTEP. UTEP, who went 0-12 this year. Past that, they were inside 10 points.
They got an original name. They're the Miners.
Original name, 0-12 season.
Oh.
Would you rather? Utah State is also referred to as the Aggies, and this is going to be a nightmare for the announcers. I'm already seeing issues of, well, the Aggies had a really good play there. Well, which Aggies are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Utah. I thought you were talking about New Mexico State. That's my shtick.
Great.
Thank you. Slow clap for me. Seriously, get rid of these 6-6 teams already.
And who wants to be called the Aggies anyway?
Right. What is an Aggie?
The agriculturalers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, the New Mexico State Aggies guy looks like he's a Pistol Pete kind of shooter.
Right.
And I don't know. Anyway, get rid of the 6-6 teams. We don't need this many bowl games.
That's a whole other podcast, John. We'll get into that.
Some turmoil at the quarterback spot for Utah State as senior Kent Myers lost his spot to freshman Jordan Love after week 7. Love comes into this game at 3-2 with 8 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on the season.
Bryce Love?
No.
Any relation?
I don't think so. He's a freshman. Yeah. I didn't look it up, so it could
Fair.
be. Distant cousins. Love is a common name, so it's not uncommon at least.
Love is all you need.
Beatles. This is a generous offense that is going to spread the ball around. Nobody really had a great season receivers-wise, so it's hard to pin down who the big target is here. But it won't overpower most teams. This is definitely one of the better 6-6 defenses you'll see. It's one that played well against Josh Allen and snagged 7 turnovers from BYU. The Utah State Aggies gave up the 17th fewest passing yards per game, and with the bad rushing attack from the other Aggies, I see this Utah State defense dominating. Aggies win. The Utah State Aggies.
Aha. You mentioned that New Mexico State broke that 57-year drought. Yeah. They last time they were in a bowl game was against Utah State in the 1960 Sun Bowl.
Well, how about that? And they won.
How about that?
And they won. Utah State won.
That. Yes.
No, New Mexico State won.
No, Utah State won. Right? No? Okay.
No, because New
you're
Mexico
right.
State is undefeated in their bowl games.
They're the ones that were undefeated. Okay, you said the Aggies are undefeated, and I was really confused. I couldn't figure it out.
See how confusing that is?
These two teams used to be in the same conference. Played each other every year from the
longer.
80s until 2012. And the Beehive State Aggies hold a 30-7 overall record in the series.
Do you know what the Beehive State is?
Utah. That's why I'm picking Utah. Utah State wins this one.
Not because of any of the reasons that I said, but because
Nope.
they're the Beehive State.
No, because they hold a 30-7 overall series record. And New Mexico State hasn't been in a bowl game in 57 years.
But they're undefeated in bowl games. I told you this.
It's got to end sometime.
That was the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl.